Good afternoon and welcome to Light Lunch. Today I am joined by Rachel and Caitlin from Designgroup Stapleton Elliott. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We'll start with you, Rachel.
Hi there, I'm Rachel. I'm one of the senior architectural graduates here at Designgroup Stapleton Elliott. Been here for the last 2 and a bit years now.
Wow, cool. And Caitlin.
Yeah, Caitlin Cook. I am Senior Associate and Landscape Architect at DGSC. Coming up 5 years at Designgroup Stapleton Elliott. So, yeah.
Cool. I feel like that landscape would be really fun.
Yeah, it's like The Sims, but real life.
That's so cool. I hadn't thought of it like that. All right, we're going to fire into some questions. We will start with you, Rachel. What are you currently excited about in your work? Tell us about an exciting project or a launch, something special you're working on, something.
I do have a few exciting projects coming up at the moment. Probably one that I just jumped on last week, which is down in Queenstown and is a multi-unit residential project. And there's quite a few different housing typologies, which is pretty exciting. And we're kind of going for like small kind of cabin look down there, so it's good doing something a little bit different with that. And then there's going to be a mix of commercial with that as well, so it's got the full range. So
Do you often work on things that are outside of the region?
yeah, I think because we've got offices up and down the country, we end up
You often work with people outside your office more than you work inside, say, our Wellington office where we're based. So it's a benefit of working in a large company. We get to work with a bunch of different people across the country.
Totally, a lot of time on Teams.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Caitlin? What's an exciting project you're working on? Or
Yeah, I'm actually working on two projects. My favorite projects involve schools and community and kids and things. So currently working on a reserve project in Lower Hutt. So you feel like you're giving something back to the community and creating spaces that can be used by everyone. And also a school in the Hawke's Bay. So yeah, again, there's spaces that help people grow and learn and interact. And so yeah, I find them really rewarding and yeah, my favorite type to work on. So I'm pretty lucky to have two at once.
yeah, very cool. All right, what about Rachel? What is a lesson you've learned at work that you could pass on to others?
Oh. A lesson. I feel like the biggest thing I've learned is probably just to ask for help and to ask for this, especially like here we've got a lot of people who've worked on similar things, so it's just kind of drawing on whoever's the expert in that area and just knowing who to reach out to.
Yeah, totally. And just input, not even help,
Yeah.
some input, just knowing.
Yeah, bouncing ideas off people. Yeah.
Nice. It's notoriously we're quite bad at asking for help as well. So well done for doing that.
And also kind of getting over that and putting yourself out there to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Were you putting yourself out there today too on Light Lunch? Well done.
Yeah.
And Caitlin, what about you? What's a lesson that you've learned at work that you could pass on?
I was actually going to say the same as Rachel. So I think it's just knowing that no question is a dumb question, and that you're not expected to know everything and anything, and knowing where your expertise lie and being able to rely on our wider team, I think makes us really strong as a collective. Is how we can, we know Rachel's really good at a certain thing, so I know I can go to her, and just being able to lean on our wider DGSC team is really good. Yeah, and I often say that to any graduates or my landscape team that there's nothing wrong with asking for help. That's how we learn and grow, and that's actually when you remember most things as well, when you've reinforced through a lesson you've learned or can apply it to a project. It's because you've actually taken the time to slow down and learn. So that would be my advice.
How many people work for Designgroup Stapleton Elliott over the whole country, do you know?
So we've got around 130, Wellington being our biggest office, around 60 of us here, and then we've got Auckland, Tauranga, Palmerston North, Napier and Queenstown, so across the country.
You've got lots of people you can call on for advice and help.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky.
Really cool.
Yeah.
All right, Rachel, what is something you do to better balance your health and well-being, mental health, well-being? This could be things at work and things outside of work.
I think today's a good example. I did a lunchtime yoga class before
Oh,
this.
that's
So
lovely.
I think that's a nice way of kind of stepping up for a bit and yeah.
Yeah, nice. And do you normally do that, or is that like a regular thing, or?
Usually after work, but I did a lunchtime one today.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to break the
Yeah, I find that a good way to kind of
yeah.
get out of the zone and relax and
Yeah, nice. Caitlin, what about you? What's some types of things you do for your mental health or well-being?
I think it's important to get up from your desk, even if it's for 5 minutes, or quickly walk around the block or out to the waterfront at lunch, and making sure you set those boundaries. At 5 o'clock it's time to go home and switch off. And taking those times to do stuff for yourself. And with landscape, I guess half of that's being outside and appreciating landscape and planting, and so yeah, pretty lucky that that's part of what I create as a job.
Yeah, that's really nice being able to get outside for sure. I definitely find that helps me a lot.
Yeah, not always achievable, but
yeah, not always achievable.
Yeah.
All right. Rachel, do you want to tell us about a person who has been influential for you and what it is about them that is influential?
Okay. This is gonna sound cliche, but I think I'm gonna use my mum as an example in this one, just because she's also been in the construction industry. So I think seeing that kind of firsthand and like knowing their experience and just giving you the confidence in those type of situations, especially on site as a female, it can often be a bit harder. So I think that's kind of given me the confidence. And
Cool.
So your mum's in construction. What is she?
Electrician.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but we do a Tall Stories podcast, and it's like normally about two people at like different ends of their careers.
Oh yeah.
You talk about like how you got there and all that kind of stuff. So you and your mum could be a really cool fit.
Yeah, love to join it.
Amazing.
And we've done a few like parent-child combos before, and they're really quite fun.
Really?
We'll be in touch. What about you, Caitlin? Who's someone influential for you?
In a similar vein, my dad, so he's a landscape designer. So I grew up going to the plant nursery with him, and I always got to pick a plant to take home, and it was always the one with pink flowers, or as you do when you're like 5. My first job was colouring in his hand drawing plans, so I used to get $5 for a plan. So kind of grew up in that, and then as I went to uni, he said, "Don't do landscape," and then
you did
he does labour and stuff, so he's a bit more on the tools. So he was like, "No, do something else." But so glad I did landscape, and being able to bounce ideas off him, and this is plant suitable. It's really cool. So yeah, I'd say my dad.
A cool way to keep that connection as well, because as you get older, those things can sometimes.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're both coming on the podcast with your parents. How good. Awesome. Well, it was lovely to talk with you girls and to see everybody else. Don't forget that next month we have Digicom in Auckland. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having
See
us.
ya.